Hey everyone, it's day 6, Monday of the 12 days of Christmas, still doing questions and answers. Okay, so the first question is on the actual surgery day, what is the best advice before and after surgery? Also, how do you know if you need the band loosened or, in other words, an unfill? Okay, on the actual day of surgery, I suggest that you cool down, calm down, um, and make sure to take some Gas-X pills. I suggest the pillow because I was very uncomfortable and didn't, for some reason they ran out of pillows or something like that. They could only give me one. Um, you should also tell your doctor because when you get surgery, what they do is they pump your stomach, right? So that way, because you're being it's done laparoscopic. So what they do is they pump your stomach so that way that they could see your whole entire stomach. So what I suggest and what I didn't know at that time was to tell them right before they wake you up, I guess, to like I'm not too sure how you call it, but tell them to make sure they press down on your stomach, make sure all that gas is out of there, because if not, you're gonna wake up with some severe gas pains, and that's exactly what happened to me. And how do you know when you need your band loosen or an unfill? You know when you need an unfill when you cannot even get down water or liquids for that matter. That's when you know that you really need to go and you're basically going to get dehydrated and you're going to freaking go into emergency if you don't take care of it. So if you can't even get down liquids, then you have a big problem and you need an unfill. And go see your doctor right away. Were you afraid even after lap band that you still will be fat or gain weight? I think this is everybody's concern. It was a big concern of mine, especially that I knew how the RNY was and how fast people would lose weight, and then I was like, I didn't really know about the lap band and how it was at that point. It was always a big question mark in my head. Am I going to stay fat? Am I going to lose weight? I'm probably going to be one in many that is going to be unsuccessful. Yes, it was a big question in my mind. So the answer is yes. Did you like your doctor in New York City that did your revision? And honestly, how bad is the recovery pain? I love my doctor who did my revision here in New York City. His name is Dr. Peter Newman, and he is an incredible doctor who was recommended by my lap band doctor. And I honestly believe that if it wasn't for me going in for a fill that day and seeing my lap band doctor, that I could probably be in my deathbed or probably dead already if it wasn't for that, because the infection was spreading and nobody wanted to see me here in New York because I had surgery out of the country. And if it wasn't for my lap band recommending his good friend, who is the plastic surgeon, also located in Long Island, New York, I, God knows where I would be right now. And he is such a great doctor, and he was so patient with me, and I was basically having a breakdown, of course, in his office. And he just sat there with me. It was closing hours, and just sat there with me and patted my back and say it was going to be okay and stuff. I love him to death. He's a funny guy, and he just makes me feel a certain way that no doctor has ever made me feel. He makes me feel comfortable. I mean, he's amazing. If you decide to ever have plastic surgery and it's in New York, go see him, Dr. Peter Newman. And did you notice a change in your skin? How well did your butt augmentation work for you? Would you recommend it? I didn't see a change in my skin. I actually, like I said, that's one of my goals next year. I want to go ahead and take care of my skin. And as far as my butt augmentation, I don't know what to say about that. I'm not really too satisfied about that. I mean, for the amount of money that I paid, I I don't know. I guess I expected different. With the amount of lipo that they have pulled out, I expected it to be a little bigger, and also I also have to be cautious when I work out because you could lose the body fat. I did not get butt implants. Okay, so there's a difference. Butt implants, and then there's a Brazilian butt lift, which is a transfer of fat. They take lipo, I guess, from anywhere in your body. In my case, it was the flanks. and they injected it into my butt, so it was my own fat. So I have to be very careful when I work out not to lose that area because it could be lost. You know, the fat could be lost. About counseling, whose idea was it? Was he on board? Did you include your son? I believe it was last December. Me and my husband was having problems, and it was a whole lot of things, including the weight loss, my plastic surgery, and stuff like that. I don't know if it was December or a little bit after, because I had my plastic surgery in January. We was having trouble for months, and then early this year we decided to go to counseling, and it was actually his idea because I decided I need my space. I had enough, you know, it was just too much for me. There was a lot of weight on me with the things that happened to me with my plastic surgery, and then with him, you know, and not being supportive. It was too much for me, and I needed a break. And that's when he came back, and he was like, you know, we need to go to counseling. So it was his idea, and the only time that we got my son involved is when we actually found out the results for my plastic surgery. And my son, you know, mistakenly saw me dealing with my you know, changing my bandages, and he saw me stitched up, and we had included him in one of the counseling sessions. But that was the only time, and actually the last time. Does your back hurt because of your boobs, and can you sleep on your stomach? Does your boobs get in the way? No, my back does not hurt because of my boobs. I'm actually really good with that in that part, and I could sleep on my stomach now, but for 6 months I had to wait to sleep on my stomach. It was very uncomfortable, and it does not get in the way of anything, no. Did you experience hair loss at all during your weight loss? The answer is no, I did not experience any hair loss during my whole entire weight loss journey. Did your doctor, surgeon advise you to do the bypass instead of the lap band? What was your doctor's advice in general for weight loss surgery? My doctor, who was located in Long Island, New York, was Dr. Alan Geis, and he is only a lap band doctor. He does not do any other type of surgery, so that was the surgery we were aiming for. What was the goal weight your doctor gave you, and if it's different than your goal weight you went for, how did you decide what was your goal? What goal would it be? My doctor didn't even actually give me a goal weight, and I determined my goal weight on my own, actually. I believe I had set it for 170, and then after that it was 160, and that's where it stood at. To be at normal BMI, I would have to be 155, and today I'm 157 due to my menstrual cycle. Yes, I wanted to fling the scale across the wall, but you know, that happens all the time when I do get my menstrual cycle. How are you able to make so many videos in your office? Do you have co-workers who can hear you? Okay, so as I said before, it's just me and the president of the company. I work side by side with him. I sit here, he sits over there, and after he leaves, he comes in earlier than me, and that's at 2. He comes in at 6, like 5 or 6 in the morning. I come in at 8 in the morning, and then he leaves at 2 p.m., which leaves me 3 hours to myself, and that's how I'm able to do the videos, because it's just me at the office. Do you completely regret going to Colombia and doing your plastic surgery over there? Touchy subject. There is a whole bunch of questions here that this person has asked me about Colombia, and I'm going to go ahead and answer it tomorrow. Because again, you know, when I do talk about Colombia, I do get a little bit choked up, and I want to be ready for it. So I'm going to go ahead and discuss everything tomorrow. There's about 5 or 6 questions here, personal questions that I'm going to go into about my surgery in Colombia. So until then, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.